Yara Jundi.
Nestabute.
She Tente Baku Hunsia.
She Madison uses Hunsia.
This is our first episode of Small Town Res Girls. And today we have a special guest.
I'm in the sky, yeah, I'm floating through the skies now. I'm doing fine, 'cause I could get you off my mind now. Yeah.
Homie Takia Pitch on Tewashten up at Choose Up. My name is Antone Edwards. I go by Antone X, and I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. And I'm a hip hop, R&B, traditional singer, and also founded All Season.
Thank you for coming on our podcast.
It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
What's it like to be back on the Mescalero Apache Reservation?
I start crying.
Kind of.
No, it's good. It feels really good to be out here. I like the weather every time I'm out here. I don't know if it's always like that, but it's a beautiful place and it has a lot of beautiful people and a lot of good hospitality, so I like it down here.
So, are you going to the Gathering of Nations?
I am.
What are you going to be doing there?
Some good friends of mine hit me up to do a show and needed help putting it together, so I put it together. And those friends are Notorious Cree, maybe you could put him right here, and Dogface. You could do it. So anyway, we got together like a lot of our friends who are good artists and native artists on Turtle Island. So we have like Fawnwood, Miracle. We have Natani Means, PJ Vegas, Destroy Casman, and a bunch of others.
That's exciting. So, what have you been up to?
Okay, so the first time that we met really was here. Yeah? You guys were hooping.
Yeah.
Did you guys win?
Yep.
Okay, so champs, Dubs, Dub City. And at that point, I was kickstarting my career. A couple songs started getting big. I Know.
It's our favorite.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to put it in here.
I had a few big songs. But since then, I released my debut album, which is called Dimensions. And that album won R&B Album of the Year at the NAMMYs and at the International Indigenous Hip Hop Awards show too.
Wow.
Congrats.
So thank you. And I pretty much used that pushed me to a bigger level. Like the next level, I started selling out tours, broke 1 million views.
Wow.
And now I have a few songs with 1 million views now. And yeah, I've just been building. I took my platform, so I feel like I probably like tripled since then. So the fan base tripled, quadrupled, whatever. And I've been using that to build All Season. So All Season is an organization now that helps develop young native artists, aspiring artists, or anybody that's wanting to get into the creative realm. So that's like film, music, even like gaming, and also sports. All Season is something I built up, and I put on a lot of artists through All Season. So
That's awesome. That's amazing.
what I'm doing.
That's
Thank you.
amazing. So you have any new songs in the works?
Yes, I do. I have a full album
Wow.
coming out. My second album, and really I have probably like 50, 60 songs completed.
Wow.
That was for this album, but we pushed it all the way down to about 18.
Wow.
So we have about 18 songs, and on this album, it's called, damn, this is my first time like announcing it. I don't know when this is being released, but this is my first time speaking on it and saying the name. It's called Don't Be Perfect, Be Real.
Love that.
And I go for like one word names, but the meaning behind it is just like a lot of people portray perfect. People are always like, yeah, my ex did this or they did that. And my ex.
Yeah.
And no one really tells what they did.
Exactly.
And for me, I know that my exes, yes, there's been times when I got done dirty, but I've also contributed. How else can I grow as a person if I didn't make my mistakes?
Exactly.
So I've made mistakes, and I just went through situations where I was like, you messed up, but now you're perfect though. I'm gonna be real and I'm gonna say you messed up, but I know I also messed up. But that's not just relationships, it's people. People online are like, I'm just portraying just perfect everything.
I agree.
For me, I'm like, let's just be real. And the kids I want to inspire, the people I want to inspire. I want to mobilize my people, and I can't sit there, and portray this like false image of everything's perfect. I go through the same thing. I get my heart broken the same way, and I deal with that. It's not something that fame or money or anything can fix. No matter what I have, my heart breaks the same way as the little Rez kids, and I deal with it. You know what I mean? And like, there's different things we go through as artists. So being real about everything, and so I chose on this album to be real, and I talk about, I talk about good things, like the beautiful loves that I've experienced in my life, and I also talk about toxicity, from partners, and also things that I've contributed, and then I talk about making the wrong decisions, leaving someone and feeling like I shouldn't have done that, and then missing out on that, and the regrets, and then also like the growth of like, I have to accept it. So I think the whole album is just me being vulnerable, and I talk about losing my brother, last year. I talk about him. I talk about just a lot of things on the album, and it's stuff that I don't want to show my mom, because she heard one song and heard like a little line, and she was like, why'd you say that? People are gonna... And I was like, damn, you don't want to hear the whole album yet, because the album is way worse, but not in a bad way. I feel like it's just real. So
I love that.
Yeah.
so that's what it is.
We need more of that.
We do.
Yes.
So that goes into my next question. Mental health. How do you feel about mental health on the Rez?
So I had this conversation with somebody that I really respect, right? And we talked about this, the Rez, right? So I was homeless when I was a kid. My family was homeless. I wasn't neglected, I was loved. My parents really tried, their hardest. But we were homeless, and I experienced poverty in the city. I've also experienced hardships on the Rez. And there's way more opportunities and resources in the city. Not saying it's any less hard, but I don't like comparing things. The struggles, I feel like the struggles need to be addressed in general.
I agree.
But mental health, right? There's kids on the Rez. Let me put it this way: in the city, if we don't have a car, we could walk to the bus stop. We could go to certain places to get bus tickets, and we can go to these different buildings where they'll give us resources to get around, or all these different. Take it a step further. If I'm a little shit kid that's starving and don't have money, I could go walk 2 blocks away to the store and steal some food. Kids on the Rez, they have to walk 10 miles, 20 miles to get to the nearest. It's a food desert. Rezes are food deserts, so you have lack of everything. You look outside, and in the wintertime, there's nothing. And my cousins and them, they live in the Rezes in South Dakota, so it's plain. You know what I mean? So imagine being depressed, and you go outside and you can't see any people. You have no car, you have no food, and you can't even walk to even do anything about it. So I know a lot of people talk about mental health, and I've been trying to figure out actions. Like, how do we actually address it and actually do something about it? And it's like, okay, we're fighting to get off the Rez. Yes, get off the Rez, do that. But what about the ones that can't get off? Let's bring resources to the Rez. Yes, there's a lot of natives that live out in the city statistically, and there's more natives out there, but that doesn't take away from the fact that our kids lack resources and just love on the Rez. Imagine if the Rez had the movie theaters and the blah blah blahs, and there's even lack of gyms.
Yeah.
If you ain't playing on the team, you can't just go to the gym. You have to be on the team or have access to the school. So it's all these things that we have to like fight to get on the Rez. You know what I mean? And it all contributes to mental health. I think it affects our youth and adults, people in general. On the Rez, they're affected because people get bored in the city and they're like, oh, I'm depressed and I don't have nothing to do. And COVID, a lot of people are like, damn, I have to address things. I have to look in and I have to feel things that I could normally run away from by cruising the city, going to do something. So during COVID, a lot of people felt what Rez kids feel every day, which is an emptiness and lack of living. You know what I mean?
So do you think that Native Americans grieve harder than non-Native Americans?
We grieve different. I think I used to tell the kids when I'd speak to them, like, whoever heard the term laughter is medicine, you know, and they, oh, I heard it. And it's like, yeah, because it is. Our people have this ability to uplift each other through jokes. I go to like funerals, and we go to funerals a lot more than regular non-natives.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and
Yes.
we always at funerals, but every time you hear like some uncles or some grandpas getting up, they'll talk real serious, and they'll just crack a random joke, and everyone will just start laughing, still tears in their eyes. But I think that we grieve different, we uplift each other in other ways. You know, and it's like I had the opportunity to help make a song for an elder in South Dakota, with a good bro of mine, Butchie Eastman, and his brothers. And when we talked to this guy, who's a really respected person in the community, and he was like, I want my song. I want you guys to make my song. Not me, but them. I was just there, and I was able to help.
Yeah.
And he said, make it happy. He said, everyone's already sad, so I don't want you to sing this song and make them more sad. Just make them happy, just make them want to dance with my song. So we went back and made a uplifting song. So there's different ways that we help each other in those times when we grieve. And I think it's a lot of songs, a lot of jokes.
Do you think Native families are closer than like non-Native families?
I of course I can't speak for everyone, but I do know in general our Native people are really family oriented and community based.
Yes.
So that's like the culture shock that our kids deal with when they leave the res. They're used to being in the res where it's community based and you care for one another, at least in some way. And then you go out in the city and people are like, they'll step on you to get to the next spot. You know what I mean? And our people are like, family's really important and community is important. So yeah, I think it's just different teachings on how we view the next person that we don't know. Whereas people who grew up non-native in mainstream society look at someone next to you and they don't feel one thing for this person most of the time. And that's the difference between our world and the mainstream world.
I agree.
Yes.
And that's why we walk in two worlds, because we have to balance like being a compassionate person in a world that doesn't care about compassion.
Yeah. So we still remember your first round dance song, Roundies on the Road, that went viral back in 2013. Do you still get recognized for that?
Yeah, online. Not so much now, since my music blew up, people are like, oh, that's cool. And if they hear me sing, and there's like light bulb and go, wait, are you the... So they don't like recognize me right off the bat for being that. But yeah, sometimes online they'll be like, oh, are you the car kid? Yeah, I'm the car kid. Passenger seat. But yeah, sometimes I get recognized.
If you had to pick a favorite song, favorite video you've shot, and favorite live performance, what would they be and why?
Like one song or one for each?
One for each. A favorite song, a favorite video you've shot, and a favorite live performance.
The favorite video isn't because it's the biggest one, but it's because it was a turning point, is Nirvana. Nirvana, it was just fun shooting it. We went up to the Sandia Mountain to shoot a whole different song that I never even released. And we shot like a scene to that song, and middle of it, I was just like, wait, I'm gonna play a different song. And it wasn't mixed, nothing. It was just like a raw, like rough version of it. And I was like, let's do this one. And he was like, are you sure? I was like, let's do it. And that was Nirvana.
Wow.
So we ended up shooting that. And I remember that was the first tour after COVID. So it was all like meaningful. And then we watched it in a hotel room in Flagstaff. And I was like, I don't want to cry. You know, like I don't even. And then one of my boys, Tidro, he said it. He was like, dog, this makes me want to cry. I was like, all right, bet. That's the same. But it was just like, on the end of the video, it starts just the guitar. I mean, it's and it shows raw crowd surfing, and it shows like me shaking hands with one of my friends laughing, and I was just watching like, damn, we just did a tour, and we just brought a lot of people together and made some memories. And I was thinking like, it's weird to think this way, but I was like, if I was to be gone, if I was to, go up there, I'm happy. And I made a lot of good memories, and people could watch this and see how we were. And I think, I love that.
That's
I love that
beautiful.
video.
Yeah.
I love that.
Live performance is Nirvana too. That song, when it comes on, you don't need to come to gatherings and see the show. But when that beat comes on, how's it go? Boom, as soon as that comes on, everyone starts screaming, and I'll be like, Amanda, and they just start singing it. And they just, it just turns up. I throw my voice out every time, and it's a fun song to perform.
That's awesome.
I love that.
So are you still playing basketball?
If anyone's watching this and wants some buckets, hit me up. No, I hoop. I play ball. I never played organized ball, on fact, but I've been getting picked up for tourneys and playing against like some hoopers and still getting buckets, and that's just from being at the park. But it's just something that I enjoy. Cardio.
That's awesome. Doesn't the Gatherings have a basketball tournament?
They do.
Have you played in it ever?
I did, but my team had a lot of fun. Friday night, Saturday night, I think.
Okay.
And I was just up like chaperoning. And I remember we were sitting there like 7 a.m. and I was like, damn, bro, like we gotta sleep. And they were like, yeah, we don't play till like 8 tonight. I was like, okay. And I was ready to sleep. I was like, wait, bro, let me look at the paper. And it was 8 a.m. and none of us slept yet. So I was like, so we went. And yeah, we lost. But that was my only time I played, and we didn't do too well.
We actually played too.
Yeah.
Was it last year or the year before?
The year before, I
The
believe.
year before, but we lost.
We lost too.
You know who does really well in tournaments is Miracle. Yeah, her team. Well, right now now she's done, but she played for Haskell.
Oh wow.
And then she played for OLC, the Lakota College, and she goes to tourneys all over.
That's awesome.
She plays a lot.
That's awesome. So back in January, you made a post that started a little controversy in the Native artist community. Can we talk a little bit about that?
So in the post, I said something that I still stand on, and I don't backtrack one word, but I do think that I could have worded it less harsh. I think it was just because I was a little harsh with it. I said something along the lines of like, these Native artists don't inspire me. And I said, how are we gonna gas some mid-ass music, like pretend resi, corny, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, if we wanna set the bar, we have to set the bar and make our artists work to get that bar if we wanna truly be good artists. And I was like, the roof, the ceiling, or the stars? That's your choice. And I stand on that. Do you want to hit the ceiling, or do you want to go for the stars? And a lot of people misinterpreted my words when I said pretend resi. I wasn't saying res artists. So there was like a whole community of res artists that was like, what the fuck you talking? But I was saying pretend resi, meaning artists that aren't from the res, pretending to be from the res for views and validation. That takes away from that takes space and takes away from actual res artists. You know what I mean? Let the res artists speak on res experiences. And if you are a native that grew up in the city, in urban lifestyle, then talk about that, because we have young kids in the city that need to hear that.
I agree.
Not everyone's from the res. I'm not from the res. I lived on the res before. I go to the res all the time. But I'm not a res artist. I'm an artist from the city. But I go to the res. I mean, anytime I go home, they know where I'm from. They know that I'm from there. I'm home. You know what I mean? I don't have to prove to them.
Yeah, and I agree with you even when it's not artists. I agree that people who are urban natives, and then there's the res natives, and the urban natives will come and try to be, res, but you're not. So speak on the urban part of it.
Exactly. So this post blew up, and all the artists were like coming at me. I had battle rappers like, set the battle up, sign the contract. And I was like, I'm talking about music. I'm not talking about a rapper. You can't beat me. Nah, no, but I can rap. And I feel like I've worked on my craft so hard You know, a lot of people don't know I can rap. I can spit, I can freestyle, I can rap different styles. You know what I mean? And I've put my hours in and continue to put my hours in and keep the blades nice and sharp. But I was talking more so like songwriting and musically as artists, we have to make music that's at a level. If we're calling for representation right now in every aspect, film, media, fashion, music, we're trying to claw up to mainstream. So when we reach the mainstream audiences, do we want to have this mess? Not saying it's a mess, but there's certain messes.
Yes.
Do we want those messes to be what represents us? Or do we want to, as a people, say, hey, bro, your music isn't the best right now. Maybe you could work on doing this or this. Instead of being like, because we're so, exactly. We're so eager. And it's good. It's so eager to support our people. And that's good. But we also have to make sure our people are doing the best they can do.
Yes.
Otherwise, we're being yes men. Yeah, we're being yes men and letting them get by off love from their people. But what happens when they get their reality check? If they're not making good music or quality music, and they go out to the city or go out to a regular stage with a regular crowd, if the music isn't good, they don't care what you are. They don't care if you're native or if you're related to this person.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
So that was really what I was trying to do, is like push our people, like set the bar. And if you think that I can't speak on this, listen to my music. And that's I've been humble my whole career. I've never spoke to the native scene. I don't include myself in the native scene. I only stick to all season. You know what I mean? So when we come into these events, people who've been at the events, you've seen me. I'm with my crew. And I don't go out mingling because I don't know, and this is my reality, is I don't know who's been talking about me online. A lot of them talk crazy about me online, and in person are like, so I'm iffy. I want to show love to everyone. But also it's like, am I showing love to somebody who was talking down on me and my family? I'm iffy. So I'm like, oh, who's this person? Are they nice? Are they good people? Because I don't want to be around bad people, negative people. So I spoke to the scene in January for the first time, and I told people what I believe, and I'm a good artist, and I have the right to speak and say, hey, step it up. And if you don't think I have the right to, listen to it in a humble way, in the most respectful way. My music is good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not here to put you down, but I'm here to say step it up.
So how do you feel about MMIW?
This is how I feel. MMIW and MMIP, missing murdered indigenous women, missing and murdered indigenous people, land back. These are movements that have true meaning behind them. These are movements that need to be taken seriously, and it needs to be more than a shirt. It needs to be more than a picture. It needs to be more than just something used in your bio to get automatic respect. I look at a lot of these things and I'm like, oh, I don't like how the internet has taken these things and turned them into just letters. It's not MMIW, it's missing. Someone, imagine a family member that's missing, and then there's murdered. Indigenous people, indigenous women. That's what it is. It's missing and murdered indigenous women. And we need action. We don't need, and I may get some feedback for this, but I'd rather talk about solutions, actions that we can take, rather than pictures we can take.
I agree.
Yes.
Our people are going missing at the highest rate. And, prayers, I pray for whoever is out there going through it with a family member or just a loved one in general. So, yeah, I think it's a huge topic we need to start taking more seriously.
I agree.
I see a lot of people use it for attention for shirts.
Yes.
Use it for attention for promoting something they want to profit off of. You know what I mean? And it's like, we need to start And it starts with the young people. It starts with, you know, places like this, platforms like this, you know, where we hold our people accountable and say, let's take action instead of trying to profit.
So where's Butch? Do y'all have anything in the works?
Butchie is in Sisseton, South Dakota. He's going to school. He just had his second baby.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, bro. And yeah, he's, you know, living his life. He's teaching.
Wow.
I don't know all the details. We talk a lot though. He calls me a lot, and we just talk like old guys. You know, just talk about all kinds of stuff. But we don't have anything in the works right now. But I do want to get him back on the road.
That'd be awesome.
But we'll see if he's down. He's always busy and has little babies. And I just keep up with all season. You know, if you keep up with all season, we're literally trying to take, like we talked about, the standard. Take artists that meet the standard
Okay.
and push them to go above and beyond. So we want to be like the hub of like, if you want to hear the best of the best, not that we're trying to put others down, but just like people that are executing and meeting their potential.
Yes.
With all seasons. So we have R&B artists on our roster, rap, hip hop, and we're going to be introducing a couple new ones this year. So keep an eye out, keep an ear out.
For sure.
For sure, I love that.
Well, thank you for being on our show.
Yes.
We valued everything you had to say, and we hope that nothing but the best for you.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I think this is does Sway count as a podcast? Radio show. Okay, this is my second podcast I've ever done. And so it's an honor to be here for the first episode of the Small Town Res Girls.
Yes, we appreciate it.
But yeah, thank you
Any
for
last
having
shout
me.
outs?
Shout out to all season. And shout out my mom. Shout out my dad. Family.
Love that.
Shout out Wakia, Tate, and Levi. My nephews. They always watch all my stuff.
Love that.
And shout out to everyone in this room.
Shout out to our family.
Here's all.
And
Shout
shout
out
out
Ralph too. Kovacs is in the building.
So we're going to end the show with our song. Could you play our favorite song for us?
Yes. Okay, what is it? I don't know what level. All right, let's hear it.
You have to sing it though.
Yeah, we want you to sing it.
Real life.
I'll sing it. I'll sing it, and they're gonna sing it with me.
Our voice
Small Town Res Girls.
Sorry about everything.
I know what you need from me, and I know that you want me, and I know you know that I want you to.
Low
key.
you do
What I want you to.
Listen to you. Girl, I'll take you out to get you some fun.
Baby, if you wanna get you some love, I say.
You got me and I ain't even fighting. I'm craving these vibes and conversations you've been providing. And I know. So this is to the first podcast?
Yes, the first podcast.
For Small Town Res Girls. This will be a big name very soon. Cheers.